Welcome to the beginning of the middle of the road, awkward Christmas in between New Year's episode. The most useless week that ever existed,
I hate this week.
particularly with this fucking weather. Like,
Are you getting rain?
just pour it all day, nonstop.
Yeah, we're getting
Fucking
rain
pour.
too.
The only thing that was good about it was there was garbage in one of the actual garbage in one of the bins, and it was frozen there. And I couldn't get it out before the holiday. So I'll take the absolutely no invoicing and no income. I don't mind it because I got the garbage out of the bin. And I probably should mind it, and I probably should be upset because that's the only thing I have going for me to. Well, Darian was floating equipment, so I
That's
emptied
all right.
garbage. I emptied garbage out of a bin, and Darian was moving equipment for a client. So we had two things happening today, one of which was billable. But if all this rain had been snow, I can only think of the billing that may have occurred then and dream of it.
Hmm.
But instead, I will just take solace in the fact that I got the garbage unfrozen from the garbage bin. Because sometimes in landscaping, you take what you can get. And today, all I can get is unfrozen garbage. But it's probably more than Chad got.
I made $0 this week, unless you count Christmas presents.
Ooh!
There we count. So whenever CRA was doing my audit, but I mean they still are doing my audit, but at one point during the audit, they had printed out a paper of all these transactions and they wanted me to explain them. Like $65 from this person that I never knew, or like $20 here or there. I'm just like, is it really that important? I'm pretty sure my wife sold something on Mom Swap or Kijiji or something like that, and they transferred her the money. Like,
Was this out of your personal accounts?
yeah, oh yeah, because they go through your business and your personal accounts, right?
Oh wow. Oh, I guess that
Oh
makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
They
but
leave no stone unturned.
I feel somewhat surprised about that only because you're technically, I'm assuming you're not running a sole proprietorship.
No corporation.
So technically, the corporation is a person unto its own,
Yeah,
and you are only an employee of the corporation.
correct. But
But so just to
the
put it in perspective, if you were the CEO of Pfizer and they were doing an HST investigation, which wouldn't happen because you also line the pockets of Trudeau. But let's say you weren't doing that, you would they wouldn't be checking his transactions on his wife's fucking Facebook sales.
yeah, I really doubt
They're
they
only
would.
doing it to you because your corporation is small, which really isn't, in my version, isn't fair.
Agree. But the long
So did they
arm of
ask you for permission or did they just demand it?
I don't think the government has ever asked me for permission for anything in my life. My father has been dead for 3 or 4 years now, and they're still sending me notices to his estate, which obviously I get the mail for, to file his taxes for his closed down company that already did its clothing and paid all its taxes and all this shit. Like, they're still asking me to file for a company that no longer exists or telling me I need to file. Like, it's just bonkers.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I was reading a thing online somewhere. They're talking about how hard it is to stop stuff like that from happening.
what?
Like just ridiculous shit that's like, and if you call and say, hey, this company doesn't exist anymore, I can't deal with it, it's already been done, they'll say to you, we can't acknowledge that because you're not the owner of the company.
Mm.
And then you're forced to say things like, yeah, the owner of the company is dead. And they're like, well, I need to speak to them so they can prove that. Like, it was just it was a whole article about exactly what Chad's talking about, how stupid the Canadian government is when it comes in terms of, well, in terms of everything, but definitely in terms of like someone who's deceased and how hard it is to, and like they just keep asking to speak to the person, and like the person is deceased. I can't arrange that. If I could, I would once again be building a huge yacht and tearing down a historic bridge to get my yacht out to the ocean. I'm not doing that, so I'm, anyways.
I wonder if the CRA can audit your employees. For example, if they have a company card,
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
There's nothing stopping them from going after absolutely any person.
that's true.
Do you think if you were a big corporation, like a fair size, like I don't know, like a fair size corporation, like a Pfizer's obviously excessive, but say you were the CBC. I'm just joking. Obviously, they wouldn't fucking. If you were a big corporation that had billions of dollars and they were trying to investigate the CEO's wife's Facebook purchases and selling, and that guy said, "I'll see you in fucking court. My lawyer is going to fucking crush you," they would probably say no problem and not do it.
Yeah, or they definitely wouldn't put their best man on it. Like the government would maybe put one of their first or second year guys on it, or to just let some things fall through the cracks, maybe.
Yeah, get crushed in court. It just doesn't seem reasonable that the company is, the whole point of it is supposed to be separation, and it seems, I get it must be legal, but it just seems crazy that they can investigate some Facebook marketplace sales of some vases that were on your fucking desk.
Yeah, they want to make sure there's no funneling of corporate money into my personal accounts, right? Because obviously I'm
so they think
two or three people that go ahead.
They rationally believe that if you're going to funnel corporate money into your personal accounts, you'd funnel it $23 at a time
through people that I don't know.
Through people that you don't know on a Sunday morning.
Now those people that you don't know are being audited.
Yeah,
they're being dragged into it.
Go nuts.
I would have been so tempted to say to the guy, you've caught me red-handed. Let me pay the tax on that $23, bro. What do I owe you? It seems, it just,
yeah.
The other thing that concerns me about all this is, on a base level, you have a bookkeeper, you file your HST returns regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming she does it on the up and up.
Absolutely.
You have a CA that submits.
Yep.
From the bookkeeper, who also files all your stuff. You pay all your taxes on time. At what point do we start to say that this is a waste of my money as a taxpayer? Why don't you go investigate someone who's actually doing some shit?
Oh, I've said it all along to myself. I haven't said it directly to CRA.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it to them either. Well, I wouldn't say, but I'm saying, like, it just seems crazy that they think that this is a productive use of someone's time. Like, if say that $23 was actually funneled from the company into your account from a third party person that you never met, who just wanted to help you out with this $23.
Yeah.
Even if that was true, let's say that they discovered the one time that you funneled this $23 through a third party. What they would get back from it wouldn't even begin to pay their costs on that investigation. They should never be investigating anything that won't cover the costs of the investigation. That should be their bar.
Right.
Yeah.
And for anyone who is doing those investigations, if investigating and recouping funds at a rate that pays their own salary, they should be fired immediately.
Yeah. In an ideal world, absolutely. I think that would be just great. And see, in my mind, having a CPA sort of lends some, I think at least it lends credibility to the business, right? Because you have a
Absolutely.
professional accountant that's gone
Yes.
over everything that's been provided to them and submitted on your behalf, saying this is legit. There's no fucking around here. And the accountant doesn't want to lie
No,
and get in hot water, right?
they'll get in more shit than you do.
So yeah, so there's no red flags about how we're conducting business, and the accountant's vouching for us, right? So why take it any step further?
You're paying all your remittances. It's not like
Absolutely.
you're late on a
No.
remittance.
No. I think there have been quarters in the past, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where we didn't have $90,000 to give them, so we gave them 50 and took the penalty hit and then paid them the next month, because
Yeah.
we haven't been paid commercially, but that hasn't happened in a long time, right? And I think a lot of companies do that as well, right? Just to stay in the black or the green, whatever you call it.
Yeah, we've delayed. It's about a week or two.
Yeah.
But you've done your remit. Like the whole thing just seems outrageous to me that they have nothing better to do with their time than. And if this is the only thing that they can find for someone to do with their time, then they have way too many people employed doing this job.
Mm-hmm.
When you are conducting useless investigations for no reason, you have way too many people physically performing that action, and maybe they should look at laying off some of those auditors. Because if this is the best thing they can come up with to track down $23 that came from some Facebook transaction into your bank account, if that's the best thing that they can find to do, that person needs to be laid off. There's a million companies committing massive fraud. Massive $1 million fraud with HST. And this person's the thing is, when they investigate someone like you that has a CA and pays all their remittances and has 90%, the investigation is easy and they don't actually have to do any work. And because there's no expectation of success from their employer, they can just keep doing these bullshit investigations that go nowhere with people they know aren't committing offenses. Because if you actually go and find someone that is committing an offense and investigate them,
I'd assume there'd be a lot of work behind it. Yeah,
that takes a lot of work, and you got to prove it. And you got to do. Right now, it's just them going, "Oh, we're putting this motherfucker through the ringer. He got $23 one time." And this guy's boss, who's just as lazy and stupid, is like, "Oh fuck, we are working our asses off on this. We haven't caught anyone doing anything in 5 fucking years, but holy shit, are we working our asses off on people we know are paying their taxes?" That is the fucking stupidest shit ever. Like, they need to get rid of these people. If the best thing they can do is to investigate your wife's $23 Facebook transaction, then they need to lay that person off or lay off a bulk of them. The government doesn't need them. They're not accomplishing anything.
Government has a lot of people that aren't accomplishing anything, regardless of the department. But
oh yeah, for sure. But this is a particularly egregious, obviously abuse of power.
Yeah. Then we just smile and take it and send them all the paperwork they need.
To do nothing.
How
big is your business?
We may have done 2 million this year, which is, great for me,
Hold on. $2 million business.
Yeah.
How long has this investigation been going on?
I'd say midsummer is whenever we got the notice.
Wow. So like 6 months?
You guys, you guys have been involved from the start. You've known about it. You've known about it from the start. Yeah, as soon as they close the chapter on me, they're picking up one of you guys.
So they've been doing this for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say
It's
so.
even how much do you pay in HST in a year?
I'd say probably 200 grand, 200, 250, something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot because you buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless,
I'd say 250 max, but
like you'd like to hope that the investigator is employed, they're investigating more than 200, a potential. If you had paid nothing, so you've paid an average of 200 to 250 a year. So what they're looking for out of your $2 million company is the HST you didn't pay over $250,000. So best case scenario for these motherfuckers is you might have shorted them 10, 15, 20 grand max. That's their best case scenario because you have legit paid 250 grand.
yeah.
So what are they searching for? That $10,000 that you screwed them on, or that 12,000? Like that's fucking crazy. This person has spent 6 months trying to find potentially at max 20 grand.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
had paid zero HST and we're claiming zero, and this person was spending 6 months trying to get the full 270 out of you, I
Oh
would
my
be
God.
like, that seems like a worthwhile venture for their time.
Yeah.
That seems like something they should be doing. But when you're saying, hey, I paid 250, they're going, fuck. There could be at least another 1% to 2% that this motherfucker didn't pay. Like, what are you
Exactly.
talking about?
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous to be investigating in when there's people that have $1 million in unpaid HST.
Let's not name any names.
No investigation needed.
No investigation needed.
Have
Yeah.
they given you a deadline, Chad, of when it's going to be wrapped up?
Yeah. We talked about it before. I think they said by end of January they should anticipate
wow.
having everything wrapped up.
So I wonder
Assuming
how.
we've provided them with all the documentation they need.
I
There's a
wonder.
disclaimer in there
That's the
with the
disclaimer.
original. No, with the original package from them. It says we need everything from 2021 and everything from 2022, but we may need to go back further if things get messy. They didn't say if things got messy, but
Things get messy. That's
if
good.
if things weren't in line the way they are now, if everything isn't nicely packaged the way we presented it to them,
Interesting.
they had a disclaimer for being able to go back even further into our books to have a look at that.
They can only go back so far, right? Isn't it like 5 years they can go back?
You have to keep all your stuff for 7 years.
7.
Yeah,
right?
7 years. Yeah.
So once your business is 8 years old, every year you can have a shredding party
Bonfire.
or a burning party or whatever it is and get rid of 8 years old.
I wonder
tax
how
information.
many people this auditor has that they're auditing at any given period of time.
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
I would like to know how much they do. Like, do they do 5 $2 million corporations a year? Do they do?
Yeah,
like that would be.
that should be public information.
You'd think so,
Yeah,
or you'd hope it would be, right?
yeah,
That would be neat to know.
that would be.
All government should be public information.
Yeah. Do you guys have the sunshine list where you guys
Yes.
are?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But it's
So,
like 100 grand now.
yeah.
Like there's probably like
Right.
400,000 people on the list.
yeah.
That was a
Half the
lot of
city
money
Toronto.
30 years ago when they started that. What
Yeah.
kind of excavator is yours? A 210?
Yeah.
What year?
2018.
Huh.
Why are you gonna buy one?
No, there's just one for sale here. How many
Oh,
hours
no.
are on yours?
4,300.
Mm-mm. So this one is probably more expensive than yours. Because this one
Oh.
has 8,350 hours on it and it's 120 grand.
So mine is more expensive.
No, it isn't, because yours has half the hours.
But they
Right.
want How much do they want for that one?
They want 120 for this one, but it has twice as much hours. So yours obviously has far less hours. So you paid more for it because
Yeah, I
it's the
paid
machines.
158, 157, something like that.
So you paid less for it in my mind because you got a better deal than this because you got one with 4,000 less hours. That's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
hours, bro.
That's a lot of hours.
That's not 400 hours. That's not
That's-
40 hours. That's
that's like-
4,000 fucking hours, man.
That's 3 years worth of excavator
Yeah.
time.
Someone ran this one pretty hard. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying that I think yours was a way better deal than this.
Yeah, I'm happy with my shovel.
I think you crushed that deal. This one has a heated seat.
Mine has a heated seat. It's incredible.
Does yours have an AMI pin grabber?
It's not AMI, but it's a
Is yours
Hitachi pin
is yours
grabber.
def deleted?
No,
This one,
but
this one,
that's you can do that for $3,000, I hear.
and it probably fucks up 5,000 other things though.
No, I hear
It
it's
has
pretty good. Like it's
Is
pretty
it?
great. Yeah, yeah, because they're not like trucks, right? Where when you change ownership, you have to get them certified and emissions tested and all that. Like you just delete this and then they're good to roll. Like,
Yeah, they're never going back to the dealer.
yeah, they're never going somewhere
Yeah.
where you need them.
Yeah.
This is actually the first, I think it's the first machine we have to ever have DEF in a machine.
Yeah,
Like our
the skid
steers don't have
steer's
them.
got to be big to have def.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
Kubota, the only skid steer that has def is the 97.
Yeah.
It's something to do with the horsepower rating.
yeah.
Like my skid steer, my 595 is fairly new. It doesn't have def.
My 2018 didn't. So yeah.
How many employees do you guys keep on during the winter? Or how many employees do you lay off?
All of them.
All of them?
Well, I stay on and my wife stays on, and everyone else takes their walking papers for a couple months. Like some of them will be back mid-March to clean stuff and grease stuff, and some are on call.
And they all come back in year season after
Knock
season?
on wood. Yeah, I think we are planning on having everyone back next year.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Right now, everyone's laid off but the driver, but two drivers. And me and Kelly, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we have a few opportunities at work this winter, so
Mhm.
we'll probably have to call some people in for those opportunities, I guess.
And you're expecting everyone back in the spring?
As far as I know, they'll all be back.
Yeah.
I mean, if one of them wasn't, I would understand. If I set them free, they're free
Yeah.
agents. Like
Yeah.
I would never begrudge someone who found a job and stuck with it after we laid them off. But most of our guys are older and pretty entrenched in the, in the whole, in the ebb and flow of the business, I guess would be the way to put it, right? Like,
You got them shopping at the company store.
no,
They're not
I think
going
they'd
anywhere
be,
else.
I think they'd be going to anyone's store. I just meant more like the life, like there's a lifestyle to being a landscape
Yeah.
contractor. Like there's
Yeah.
a lifestyle to it. So I think I think sometimes too, by the time they've worked, they're at our yard every morning for either 6 or earlier. The latest they would come in is 6. So there could be earlier, 5:30, 5:15, depending on where they're traveling to. And then they're usually back at the yard at 5:36 at night. So they're putting in 12-hour days, 5 days a week for the whole season from the start to the finish. So, because we want to be on sites by 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So it depends where we're even at the closest site, more than likely you're going to be at the yard for 6 because you want to get the trucks ready and get them, make sure you have everything you need that day. And it's a long haul. It's a lot of hours. So I get it. I went to the yard today and worked. I got the garbage out of the garbage bin, which was great, rewarding, satisfying.
Nice.
I don't I don't have an expectation of them to return. I hope they do, but I don't have any my hope is that they will all come back because they're good, productive people. But if one of them didn't, I would never bear that person any ill will because I didn't find work in the winter and I'm the one that caused that. On the flip side, you could say that they have all turned down snow plowing with my friends. So,
So you do offer them that, right?
if someone says to me that they want to do something in the winter, like plow snow or salt, I will find them someone that needs that. I have lots of connections in that world too. So if they want to do that, I would be happy to set them up with that because I would hope that at the conclusion of the snow season that the person who was, using our staff would make sure that they, wouldn't go out of their way to attempt to employ them. I guess that's the danger that people would be worried about there was people taking your staff. So, but if at the end of the day, if someone goes to work for someone doing that and then decides at the end of the season at the end of the snow season that their life would be better staying there, I would want them to stay there if that's the belief of their life to be better. I wouldn't want them to come back to us if they believe their life is going to be better in the other place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would always help them. Our guys are pretty old. They're not spring chickens. Well, Kyle, I guess is Kyle and Luke's 30 and Kyle's maybe 27 or something, 28. But the rest of them are like in their 40s. So, they're pretty burnt. Why? What did you do with your staff, Mike? Did you lay them off? Keep them on?
Yeah, they're gone.
They're gone.
Not expecting them back.
Not.
Uh,
Oh, guys, a little Congress. Do we make an
Oh.
announcement? Do we talk about that?
Yeah, you guys tell me, what day are we having the Mammoth meetup at the Mammoth booth?
yeah, let's have that.
Let's have that. All right.
Let's have that.
What day are we having the Mammoth meetup at the Mammoth booth?
The
Chad,
day of
you-
the party. What's
You said
that?
the party? Party is Wednesday, January 10th.
Until they change it again last minute.
Until they change it last minute, but it is on the back of their card. So we'll see.
I got to get a hotel. I should do that this week.
I bet hotels are sold out. This is a very popular event.
No, I got a hotel last minute. Last time,
Really?
I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
How far away was it?
Right across the road.
Do you really think that hotels sell out for this event?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either.
A lot of people come in from out of town.
Really?
Well, they're not necessarily coming in from like Saskatchewan, but if you're coming from Ottawa,
Yeah, I guess so. Eh?
I mean, there are people that would travel from Ottawa for Congress.
Yeah, Ontario's pretty big.
Well, and a lot of people love a good marching band.
Marching band.
Mike said there was a marching band last year. I missed it, but Mike said it.
I didn't see a marching band.
Yeah, there was. It was their 50th show, so that's a pretty big thing. So they brought in the marching band.
I saw someone paying for tickets last year, I think. Yeah. Like, what kind of sucker pays for tickets?
Well, technically, someone's paying for your tickets,
Yeah, I suppose.
right? If you use one of those scanner codes, like from whoever, then that company's paying for your ticket.
Oh, really?
What do you think? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought because they have a booth, they get like unlimited free tickets.
No.
Oh, really? I
They
didn't
pay
know
for
that.
everyone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So choose your least favorite company and have them pay for your ticket.
Sign up for 500 tickets in their name. I don't know. Try to claw back your sand issues one fucking hour Congress ticket at a time. Obviously, well, no, so I'm not saying that 100% that's the case. I'm probably 85% sure. There's no fucking way that Landscape Ontario lets all those people walk in that building for free.
I would
Well, what's
assume
the
they
sense
did.
of having the event then? If they're not going to fill it with landscapers.
Well, they do fill it, but they just make the corporations pay the town.
Yeah, well, I
I don't
understand.
know.
Did they
Who,
pay
who did
for
you
like
who
a
did you
booth
order
space?
who did you order your ticket from, Mike?
Oh, I don't know. I get tons of emails from all these companies saying use our promo code to get free. So
Yeah.
could have been my supplier, could have been a manufacturer. I don't know who it was.
I'm sure they paid one of the other reasons I know this is because we used to do Canada Blooms with Landscape Ontario, and they would say, email out this link to all your clients and see if they want Canada's Blooms tickets. They can get them through you because you're a display person. But for every person that bought tickets, they charged you.
Really?
So wouldn't you want them to use someone else's ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but they're saying try to get your clients down.
But you wouldn't want to get your clients down because they're already your clients. You would want to get prospective clients.
You would want to get someone else's code and send it to
I'm
them
just
as
telling you
your
to
own.
fucking
If
To
I was
bankrupt
Block
the other
Techo,
guy.
I would get Lock Uni's code and be handing that one out.
So I'm just telling you, I'm pretty sure that that's how it works. I don't think that. I'm sure there's probably you get like maybe if you get a booth, you get 100. Depending on size, you get 100 free tickets.
That's what I would assume it would
But
be.
once you get over 100, then you're just paying for them.
Well,
yeah.
I think again, I'm not an expert in these affairs, and if I don't have exact knowledge of this.
I talked to Naylor. He has the podcast called LCR Media, Lawn Care Rookie. And what he does with these events is he goes around and he puts up what's called Pod Row. It's like a podcaster's row of booths. And he does this to bring in and bring awareness to the event. He's done it for like a few different events in the States, and he talked to me about doing it at LO Congress, and I thought that would be a really cool idea, especially if we had our podcast there or something. So I tried to get in touch with Congress, and I never get an email back from Landscape Ontario on anything. I'm not a member, so maybe that's the case. But whenever I email Congress, Landscape Ontario, anybody, I never get a response. But I thought that would be a really cool idea. I have like a podcasters row there, and maybe they're not so interested in something like that because it's more so like Ontario focused. But I mean, I'm sure the booths would be interested in that because bring awareness to.
Well, there's other. So are you? So what do they do in podcasters row? Like, what do they do?
Oh, I don't know. They do like.
Why would you want to bring it if you don't know?
Well, I was trying to set up Naylor with it, right? Because they do like a row of booths that are podcasts, and then they just try to get guests that are at the show on the podcast, which is great for the booths that are already there for manufacturers. They're there. They can drop by the podcast row and be on a bunch of podcasts all at once, right?
Yeah, that's good for manufacturers.
Yeah.
We should set up ours right beside one of the sand manufacturers. Give them a chance to come on with us. And
just right in the aisle where you're not supposed to set anything up. We'll just pitch a tent. Excuse me, guys. You're in the fire escape.
I think we should do podcasting on the bus that drives you around the fuck. I don't know if you guys remember last year I had the crazy ass bus experiment. Yeah. Start doing some podcasting on the bus.
Yeah.
That could be a thing. So the meeting is on the 10th?
On the 10th.
Oh, on the 10th, yeah.
I'm good to come down at whatever time you guys want.
What's the most inconvenient time for Chad?
What time does it open?
9 a.m.
They only open at no, they don't open that early. I think it's only in the afternoon, isn't it?
No, it opens at like 9.
It's 9 a.m. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
9 to 5.
For the
record, I worked this show 2 years in a row.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time at this show working a booth,
wow.
a manufacturer's booth.
I'd love to see the T4 you got from working for it.
What?
All the money you made, Mike.
Oh, fuck yeah. Raking it in. Raking it in at the booth.
Do you make anything extra for events and having to travel for events when you work for a manufacturer as a rep?
I can only speak where I worked for. No.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
And my impression from speaking to other reps was no.
Okay.
Because I obviously, when you're in the manufacturer rep business, you end up talking to other manufacturer reps because you all end up in the same fucking places all the time.
Yeah.
So they're not your pals per se.
Is there any beefs between manufacturer reps? From other manufacturers, like between manufacturer to manufacturer?
I would say there's some beefs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world of shit. Yeah, it took a while. It took a while for me to get immersed in the culture.
Did you have a nemesis?
That I have a nemesis.
Yeah, did you have a nemesis at another brick company?
I can't remember if he's not there anymore. He left.
Oh, he did.
Oh no.
Well, recently. His name was
Pavers King?
No. He's actually a decent guy. I think that just when I became
Techo what? Because they all have Techo and then
when I became I think part of it was when I became a rep because I had a perceived high profile on social media. Other reps just maybe felt insecure about their unperceived high profile on social media. I don't know that it makes any difference when you're a rep. I think there's a valid argument that it's a deterrent to have a high profile on social media as a rep. I think the reps work the best when they're kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm sure the companies want the reps to be growing.
I don't think so.
No,
not in my opinion. Maybe some of them, not all of them. I don't think it lends itself well. It just it opens you up to being attacked. It's hard for them to control all the accounts.
Yeah.
It gives people a lot of freedom and representation of big companies that
I think they just want you to be a firefighter as a rep and maybe push their product. They have separate guys for PR and all that shit, right? Like social media and
there's an expectation to do sales calls. I think if you have a social media account with your name on it and you're pushing product and whatever they send you every month, I think they probably like that. I think they probably like if you're posting about your friends or your clients' jobs that are using your product, they probably like that.
Yeah.
I think that I still like I can't speak to every manufacturer or what their policies are, but I do know that when you're a manufacturer rep with an account, a social media account, the potential for getting yourself into big trouble is pretty fucking high. You know, because you're representing very large corporations and a lot of times you're using their name in and you know, I think one of the things that comes up is who owns those accounts.
Yeah.
Like the manufacturer doesn't own them. So if you build up a big following as a manufacturer rep and then you switch to another company and wipe clean your account, you still have those 5,000 followers on that account or whatever it is. I think I believe that the best reps that I've ever met function well behind the scenes. I don't think they're in your, you could argue that I was good at promoting events. I don't think you could argue that I was the best rep. I think you could argue I was the best at promoting events because I had a perceived following and a perceived whatever status, so I could promote events well. But when it came to like behind the scenes being a rep, I don't think I was even in the top 5 out of the 6 that were working there when I was there.
So what happened to the Paver King Instagram whenever you were at Confirm? Did you still have it?
Yeah, I just
Like you
ran
were
it the whole
still,
time. Like I was just was the next thing I did.
Hmm.
And then
But
when
you
that
were,
was
like-
and then when that was over, I just switched it to the next thing. I never have ever cleaned my account.
okay.
If you go through my account, everything I've ever posted since the very first day is there.
We should have a Paver King Instagram episode where we start with post number 1 and we just go through it.
There's 4,000 posts.
So we've got a long off season here, guys.
Long off, yeah.
The
So
series.
when I switched roles, I just made a post saying I'm moving to a new future, a new life, and thanks. And then when I switched roles again, I think I made the same post. Just said, "Hey, this is what I'm doing now." I'm sure you guys saw it because I tagged you that when Caleb had the owner of CMG University on, he made a big point of saying that he doesn't badger people who come on his show unless they ask for it.
Mhm.
He did made a so I made a post asking to be badgered on that show because I think that Caleb's a good interviewer and I think that I'd love to see him badger me because I like being badgered. I think it's a good mental test to be being badgered. To which, as of this recording, Caleb has never responded to the request.
Hmm.
He is, but someone posted on the thing, what are you going to badger that guy with? He just says whatever the truth is, anyways.
True.
That someone posted that in the comments on my post was, how are you going to badger him? What are you going to ask him? Shit that he already told you. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we lost money last year. Yeah, I wasn't a great rep. Yeah, like I'm pretty honest about things. Like I don't think that I'm dishonest. So I think that was an interesting thing in that regard. But I have never deleted it. I keep every story I've ever posted. Every story I've ever posted on my Instagram is saved, and they're saved. They're neatly saved, and they're saved as Paver King 1 through 32. There's one for Not Our Finest. There's 3 for Not Our Finest Hour.
Wow.
Because when you get to 100, you have to start the next highlight. So there's 3 for not. So if someone wanted to go back to my permacon days, it's all saved there.
I
all
don't
the
even know how
events-
to do that.
All the events save your story.
Yeah.
You just push a thing and it says highlight, and then you add it to the highlight on your homepage.
Oh,
So I mean, on top of the 4,000 posts, every one of those bubbles has 100 stories in it, and I'm up to 32 Paver Kings. That's another
So-
3,300 posts plus whatever. I mean, I bet there's 10,000 posts on Instagram. Maybe not. Well, maybe that much. Close to 10,000 posts on Instagram. But I have them all. They're all there. So if someone wants to pilfer through them and make fun of me or pick on me or ask me hard questions about things, it's all there. I never washed the account once. I don't think it's fair to people to wash the account. For me, I understand it if you were repping one company and now you're repping another, why you'd wash the fucking account.
Yeah.
I think that the guy that I had a beef with when I was at Permacon was Billy Bob.
Is that a real
some-
name?
Yeah, like Techo Billy Bob or something.
Techo.
It's from the Niagara
is
region.
he still?
No, he left. He's a nice guy. I've met him in person too. He's a good guy, but he took a couple shots at me when I was repping.
Techo Billy Blue.
That's it. Billy Blue.
He's still got an
he's still there, I
account.
think.
No, I think he left.
Oh,
I think look at the
Former hardscaper, mentor, paver coach. Holy shit. Maybe he was right to be getting it from you.
he never got it from me. I never
Oh, he
gave
only
anyone a
dished
hard
it.
time. He's a nice guy.
Oh.
Oh, here it is. He's seen a few things.
He's seen a few things.
Okay, so here it says, "Good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'm officially turning over the keys to the Golden Horseshoe territory. He's
Uh-huh.
off to work at the family business, and he's excited for the future. I'll be watching to see impressive stuff. He was a good guy, man. He was a nice guy. I think he was just, maybe he was just looking for a beef to get into it with me or something. I don't know. I've talked to him ever since then. He's a nice guy. He was one of the people that messaged me on notes when no one else was using it, and I was posting things like "fuck you," and he was like, "Do you have some kind of problem with me?" Because when it very first came out, I said, "No, Bill. Why?" And he's like, "Well, keeps telling me to fuck off." I'm like, "He's telling everyone to fuck off, man." He's like, "Oh, he's a good guy." He just sometimes, and maybe I said something that was personal to him, but I didn't even realize. I say a lot of shit. I got a big fucking mouth. I say shit, and you can't take it back. So, I mean, maybe I did
Well,
say
you can't
something
take it back.
about. No. So, what time? Just so we get through this before this hour is over.
Yes.
So it's on the 10th of January at the Mammoth booth. I will message Mo and find out what the booth number is so we can post it. But it's at the Mammoth booth. And we're all three of us are going to be there at the same time, or are we doing rotating shifts to see which one of the three of us attracts the largest crowd?
Oh.
I think we should all be
Oh.
there.
Yeah, I think
I
we should
don't
all
think
be
I
there
can
at
pull a
once.
crowd.
I don't think I can.
I think the landscape data can pull a crowd, especially if you promise a dictation of one of your poems.
I think you could pull a crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We can all pull a crowd. It's just different people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could pull a crowd.
Oh, PK would pull the biggest crowd.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't even think me and Chad need to be there.
Yeah, I don't think so. We'll just do
That's
that.
such crap.
PK, why don't you just get cardboard cutouts of us
Yeah.
and put them beside you? People can sign the back and then we can send it out to us.
So it opens at 9, Chad.
Let's say noon. Can we go for noon?
Noon. The lunchtime meetup.
Well,
The
then I can
lunchtime
leave
meetup.
at 6 o'clock, or there's no traffic going through. At 9 o'clock, there's traffic.
Should we ask the listeners to bring us lunch and I'll review it? I'm just
Well,
joking. Don't
yeah.
bring.
Why don't we make it 1 so that people, if they are
Sure.
getting lunch, they can
Yeah,
go at 12
great.
and come back for 1.
Great.
And then that gives you at least a little bit more time there.
1 p.m.
I think there's less people there at 1 p.m. than there is at 12.
Oh, is there? Oh, because people leave.
People go for lunch and they never fucking come back.
Gotcha.
They end up in restaurants, boozing.
That's true.
I want you to do live pizza reviews, PK,
running up the reps
at the booth.
credit
A
cards.
live pizza review.
Yeah, at the booth.
The first year
From Cornwall. Oh, Chad
I
brings the
heard-
Cornwall pizza.
He already did one.
Oh, that's right.
I
That's
did
right.
one. Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
I was watching this thing and they say Windsor has the best pizza in Ontario. And do you know who came second?
Who?
Cornwall.
No way. We came
Wow.
second. See,
Yeah.
I
my
wouldn't think Windsor has the best anything.
Windsor
My
has
take-
that bar none the best pizza.
the poorer the city, the better the pizza.
I see.
And Windsor
How
might
much?
take
How
it.
much is it? You said one episode you said you got your pizza from Little Caesars. You have
Yeah.
access to great pizza and you still go to Little Caesars?
Sometimes you want a shitty pizza. It's not all the time you want a good pizza.
I can
I-
agree with that.
So I agree with that. I
Yeah.
feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to go into Circle K and buy the cardboard.
Yeah. It's like
Just
that'll do
reminds you
right
of a
now.
different
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Different time in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
When all you could afford was the cardboard.
There's a nostalgia to the shitty pizza. That's why I think people still buy those round little pucks that you used to get in elementary school at
Yeah.
Hot
whenever you
Pockets.
could buy a pizza for $1. No.
Yes.
They're like the little pizza, but all it was is like sauce and maybe like 3 grains of cheese.
Yes.
And they were awful. They were fucking god awful.
I
right?
bought Paisley was staying by herself at her mom's, I think, and she got some of those and then she fucking loved them.
Are you talking about like the
Like-
Lunchables?
No,
No,
like
little
they came
pizzas.
in twos,
McCain
frozen in
pizzas,
twos,
yeah.
and you
the
would break
frozen
them in
two- yeah.
half.
Yep.
I don't even
I know
know what you
exactly.
guys are talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
You did not. You lived in
What kind of a
underprivileged.
childhood do you have?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You're awful.
He was too
But
busy with eating his good pizza.
yeah.
You know what?
Good
I love
pizza.
those things. I would still buy those things. The sauce has a certain tang to it that is unachievable on any other pizza. They're McCain minis or something.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
don't
they're
know,
called.
but
Yeah, they're great.
they were awful.
They're the
Terrible.
best. Oh, they were so good. I like any kind
Yeah.
of pizza though. That's why like my pizza reviews are fucking tainted. I like
You're
any
biased
pizza.
to
I
any
just
kind
love
of
pizza.
pizza.
I love any kind of. It doesn't matter what it is. I love it. So I'm fucking biased. I try to be hard on them, but it's hard. It's difficult. Someone got a really shitty review. Oh, the Tim Hortons pizza.
Tim Hortons had pizza?
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I did a review of it. I knew they released pizza. I just in Durham region it wasn't a thing because only certain people were carrying it as a test. But when I was doing this stupid, it's not stupid, I guess, if I don't fall off a roof. When I was doing the working at Heights thing, I went to the Tim Hortons and they had pizza there. I thought we talked about it on the podcast.
I don't
Obviously,
know.
maybe not.
No, not the
Maybe
Tim Hortons
not.
pizza.
No. Yeah, so they
Do
had
you
Tim
remember
Hortons pizza.
the McDonald's
It was.
pizza?
I heard the McDonald's pizza was really good.
My brother
I
used
remember
to
it being
always
good.
eat that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it being good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, it's pizza, so I have a very tainted view. Like it's really tainted. Any kind of thing with tomato sauce and cheese, I'm pretty much fucked. That's just my jam, I guess.
That's-
That's just my jam. What did,
Okay,
did
are we
you have-
saying 12 o'clock Wednesday, January 10th?
Yeah. I would like
Mammoth-
to fuck up everyone's lunch.
Okay. That
Plus,
seems on
that
brand.
way, my other goal is to gather enough people that someone will take us out for lunch after.
Ooh.
Mm.
Someone will be like, guys,
A
my
poly
company
sand
has-
company.
probably. I want someone to come up and be like, guys, my company has grown so much. Listen to this podcast's advice that I want to buy the three of you lunch.
Oof.
I don't think that person exists, but we can hope. No one has ever said to me, man, your podcast really helped me grow my business.
But no one has also ever said my business went tits up because of you guys.
And that's a better goal, I think. I think that's a way better goal. I
We have gotten a message that somebody was going through a tough time and our podcast really helped. I
That's
think
true.
that's probably better than helping
That's way
with their
better.
business.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about people's business. I care about their lives. Right? Inherently, I think that's potentially the danger in people who are very young broadcasting all their shit all over the internet and trying to teach other people stuff is that if I was broadcasting everything that I thought was really good at 22, there would have been a lot of people whose lives got really fucked up over that.
Favorite
I
King
just-
weed reviews.
How to get stopped at the border.
to get
How to not get stopped at the border.
How to repeatedly get harassed at the border. I went to so for the first time in 5 years, I went to the chiropractor because I've been having mobility issues, to say the least. And so I went to the chiropractor and she said, stand up straight. And I said, but I am. She said, yeah, no. Oh. And then she concluded that my hips are completely frozen. There's no movement left at all. 100%. I don't know how you describe, like 100% unmovable. I don't know. Seized. They're 100% seized. So she began the process of unseizing my hips, which was super painful.
Oof.
But so it's that's what you get, people. If you want to do 50 years of landscape or be 50 years old and be in the landscaping trade, you get seized hips. I do like that people like Chad's age and younger are doing things like going to the gym and stuff and running. I think that's smarter than me.
It's a new age.
I
for
think you'll be in better shape at 50 than I will
construction.
be.
That's the goal. I did a CrossFit class today for the first time in, I want to say 8 months, 10 months. And I am a hurting unit right now. Like I won't be able to walk tomorrow.
Really?
But yeah, I I told myself I got to get back into more physical activity because the days now are mostly sitting in the truck or
Yes.
going around and pointing my finger and stuff. I'm not doing all the shit that I did every single day anymore. Like I'm not screeding base for 8 hours at a time or raking for weeks and weeks at a time. Like now I'll pick up a wide rake and I'll rake for 5 minutes and I'll have to stand up on the rake and huff and puff for 5 minutes and then get back at it. And the guys are like, "Oh, you can't do this anymore. Go sit in your truck." And yeah, you guys are right. Look what I've become. So,
Well, you haven't become me, who's got
well,
completely seized hips and a crooked spine. So
hmm,
I feel like doing physical activity is that part of like, well, there's lots of things I can respect about people that are younger than me, but the whole like staying physically fit, I think that the being a hockey goalie 5 nights a week for 25 years also had an impact on my body
yeah.
as well. Because I used to play 4 or 5 nights a week. Even up till 3 years ago, I was playing before the pandemic, I was playing 3 nights a week
Wow.
every week. But I was like 45. But before that, like when I was in my 20s, 6, 7 days a week, every day, all year, 365.
So at what age do things really start to drop off then? Is it
Oh,
45?
recently, 48, 49.
48? Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Horribly. Yeah. I've
I see.
been
I would have assumed they went before that.
drastically affected. Uh no, I was pretty like I mean, I've been doing this a really long time, and I also obviously was just talking about playing hockey excessively. I've had a lot of physical pain for as long as I can remember. I don't know, at least 35 years, maybe more. I can't remember ever not waking up not being in pain. I don't remember that day. Or sleeping and waking up 3 or 4 times. I wake up at least 4 or 5 times a night because if I move the wrong way, pain goes shooting through my entire body. Um, so I don't take painkillers because I feel like if you take painkillers and then you do stuff that you wouldn't be doing that'll make you more hurt. And I'm not saying that's rational. It's just my own thing. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't take Advil and go to work because then I might lift something that would hurt me worse. Whereas if I can feel the pain, then I know when I can't lift more than that. I'm not saying this is rational or anyone else should be remotely taking any kind of medical advice from me. It's just the way it is for me. So but the lot and so I'm even when we because obviously I went to con perm and then when I came back I was in the field every day like building landscapes and I feel like I was in pretty good shape. I don't think that things sort of went downhill for me until the the spa job. I ended up in the trailer a lot because I was managing like 35 people on site, like 35 landscapers, and doing planning sessions and had to, answer to 500 fucking people um, about things that had nothing to do with me. And so I think that was the start of the decline. But then when we bought the second bin truck, I think that driving the truck every day has had a drastic effect on my health, on my mobility part of my health.
Hmm.
And being 50 and not taking care of myself at all, ever in my life. Well, I mean, in at least 30 years, I haven't done anything productive with taking care of myself. I'm just paying for all that stuff right now.
Hmm.
So I can't even we got a new dog.
Oh.
So which is a big dog. She's big. And I don't know if I ever said our other dog passed away.
Oh, sorry to
One of
hear.
Oh
our
man.
one of our
The one
dogs.
that got stranded on the Ottoman?
No,
That
no,
one?
Feedy's okay.
Oh,
Our big dog passed away.
oh,
And we got him when he said he was 5, but he could have been 8 when we got him. We had him 5 years, so he's good. So now we got a it's an Italian sheepdog and it's called a Miramar. It's like such a rare breed. It wasn't even in the vet's computer. She
Wow.
came from a shelter. She didn't have a home, so but she's big and strong. Well, she's supposed to weigh 120 pounds, and she only weighs 50.
Oh,
So, but she gained 12 pounds since we've had her. So she's gaining weight back, but she's a big, strong dog. So for me, walking with her and her pulling me, I can walk like one a day. I would like to walk her twice, but if I walk her twice, I'm in a ridiculous amount of pain. So
she's gonna unseize those hips.
she is gonna. The dog is gonna be the one that. Her name is Martha. Martha is gonna unseize my hips. Yeah. So I've actually been attempting to take my health as a priority for about a month, which is I've never done that before. It's an interesting concept. Take your own health
Better
as a
late than
priority.
never.
Yeah.
Well, let's fucking hope. let's fucking hope. Better late than never. But when I see a lot of the younger contractors now, these guys are like they're into physical fitness, and I'm like, good for them, man. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing because obviously it didn't pan out great for me at 50. I would like to get in shape well enough to play hockey one more year. That's my goal. To play one more season. Knowing it's the last season I'll ever play, but play one more. It was a very large part of my life for a very long time. So one more year. Even if it's only once a week. The league I play in normally plays twice a week. Even if it's only once a week. And that's my goal, to get back to at least.
Even if you played backup.
Oh, I would back up someone as long as I didn't have to play. I didn't have to play. I could run back up. But I think part of it too is because I did that 3 days a week. My body didn't seize up, because when you're playing any kind of sport or doing like CrossFit, you have to move your body in certain ways that maybe you don't normally do.
Yeah.
But when you stop doing all that stuff, you can lead a pretty sedentary life of saying, okay, I know this won't hurt. I know I can do that. I know I can do this. And then you keep just squeezing those things down over time.
Yeah.
To where you get to the point where you're like, these are the 3 things I can do.
Yeah.
And so I just do those 3 things. It is terrible.
It's terrible. You're making your body into a prison by doing less and less, right?
That's true.
So
I'm attempting to get out of that mold.
Jailbreak.
I'm going to jailbreak my fucking body and try to take over someone else's. Mostly I'm going to transfer my consciousness through the air. I'm going to pick someone at Congress at the Mammoth Meetup. And so, have you guys heard about this? Because Mammoth's been doing a big advertising campaign about it.
Ooh.
The tax write-off thing, eh?
The tax write-off, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an actual thing. But all they're doing I think what they're allowing you to do is to claim that all in one. I feel like this is like, not that I mean, obviously I'm a pro Mammoth person, but they're going to sell you a mini skid steer, 36-inch, and a buggy, which is the buggy that we had on loan from them. It's a good buggy, for $31,000.
Yeah, but is there not something in there about how you got to give back?
Well,
it's
$30
$8,000 later or something. No.
So it's $31,000, and then from that 31,000, the bill C19 will return $8,000 back to you. So you're actually only paying $23,000 for the mini skid steer and the buggy.
That's good.
That's good, but you can never depreciate those items again.
Right.
You know how normally you depreciate those items over 5 years? They're letting you depreciate it all in 1 year.
And the only reason why you do that is if you had a really good year. People shouldn't just hop on that just because it's a tax write-off.
I'm suspicious of anything the government does, so
yeah.
I would have a hard look at Bill C19 before I did it.
Right.
But I still think even if you were paying the full pop, $32,000 for the stand-on skid steer and the buggy, That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems good. Yeah.
That
Can
seems
I
like
depreciate my entire big
you can,
excavator
you can
this year?
all this year, yeah, under Bill C-19.
Yeah, I'll let the accountant figure. That's what we pay them for, to figure out how to do this shit in the best way possible.
It might be very advantageous for you because you paid cash for it too, right?
Yes. We anytime someone says you paid cash, I'm picturing like actual cash money. But no, we paid with money that's not loaned to us or finance, right? Like it's all Natural Design's money that paid for that shovel.
You should have gone and
Which is
got
which
the
may have been
cash
the
out. You
biggest
should have
check
got
I ever written. I've
you
ever
should
written.
you should have gone and got the money out of the bank in a briefcase and brought it to them.
They would say, we don't have that kind of money here. It's gonna take a while. And then they probably send someone from the CRA to fucking hold your hand until you get to the place and then hold the
Probably.
other guy's hand before he goes to deposit it or something.
That's true.
Like
It would be fun though.
there's silent alarms going off at the bank whenever you're asking for that much money. Like there's gotta be, you know.
So you wrote a
We
check.
can't do anything in this country. Yeah. I wrote a
Oh, you're
check.
right about that. Fuck this
Hundred and
country.
$58,000 plus tax. I think it was 178. So
I got to put her to work.
gotta put her to work. She's been working around the yard, but we gotta
How
hire a
much?
rock truck,
Yeah.
load up the rock truck, bring it around the house, build a house. Yeah, yeah, lots to do.
How much is it? Are you gonna hire a driver or just rent a rock truck from a rental place?
I think it's best to hire a driver.
Like
So I would have,
hire someone's rock truck with a driver?
yeah, it's only $110 an hour, $100 an hour, $110 an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same guy who did our land clearing, right?
Yeah. For the amount
So
of soil you can move in a rock truck, that's a pretty good deal.
yeah, so $1,000 a day and we're done. And I don't have to worry about breaking the thing or getting it stuck or
Yeah.
backing into the house or something like that, you know. Just we do have to put in our own septic.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, we don't have to, but we have a plug price to do it, so we would save like 15 grand if we did it ourselves. I've just never put in a septic before. I hear it's very easy, but I guess
But
we'll
you have
find
to be
out.
licensed.
No, not because it's my own property.
Oh, okay, because you own it.
Yeah, because I own it, I can
There's
do it
no
myself.
license. There's no license requirement.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
so we'll see. There'll be a story about it one day.
Daddy builds. What?
Daddy Bill.
That's Daddy builds.
That's
I
good.
thought we had questions.
We do have questions. Yeah. Should we get to them?
Sure.
I want to start actually a segment here. I've been going through PK's feed.
Oh my
All the way
God.
back in 2013. This could be a good off-season segment. It'd be the PK. Tell us about the time. That's the name
Sure.
of the segment.
Oh,
Let's name the okay. In 2013.
PK, tell us about the time you laid out a Teckle block Antica. You spelled out the word Teckle block with Antica, and you laid around it and took a picture of it and posted it.
So I didn't do that. The residential crew did that.
Oh, I see.
And they wrote it out and then they took a picture. And I think we were in some kind of competition at the time to get the most likes on a Facebook post to win some kind of prize.
Ooh.
And I think that's why we did that.
There's
And
always
that
a
was-
story behind the picture.
And that's when that's sort of when we first started using their products too. And that's when there wasn't very many manufacturers that were sort of online. But that is a good picture. It's an epic picture. I think the people that are in it, there's 5 guys in it.
Yeah, I think so. I scrolled
Yes.
past it now.
I think there's 5. 2 of
Yeah.
them are Steve and Mike, for sure. And then I think Joe Bailey. I bet there's still someone from our crew potentially in that picture. I think Jay was there. He's not on our crew anymore, but he was. I don't know who the fit. Maybe there's only 4. I know there was at least.
Hmm.
I think those 4 guys are in that picture for sure.
Yeah, there's 4 there. So
Yeah,
if you're
it's-
watching this on YouTube, you'll actually see the picture.
Oh no, so that's not. That's Mike, John Faria, Steve, and I don't know who. I think the other guy I can't make out, but I think it's probably Joseph.
Okay, one more. Tell us about the time you started the hashtag Hardscape Rob Ford. And posted pictures like this.
There's a guy that worked for us named Brandon McNally who looked. I would say.
Oh, that's the guy. Yeah.
I would say
I
he
can
looked.
picture him now.
I'd say he looked a tiny bit like Rob Ford. So we did a bunch of Hardscape Rob Ford posts, and there was some commercials that we ran. He was fighting for better compaction because Olivia Chow wasn't offering full compaction rates, and John Tory was only giving compaction to his rich friends, and Rob Ford was bringing compaction to the regular man. There's a whole bunch of those Hardscape Rob Ford ads. We did a bunch of ads for it. Maybe 2. There's one where the famous picture of him with the crack dealers.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that mix, there's that. We retook that picture where everyone was doing exactly the same pose, and we retook the picture of with him with Brandon being Rob Ford. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. That was good times. Those were good times with that stuff. That's when Instagram video was like, I think maybe first coming out to compete with Vine.
Oh wow.
And their videos were 15 seconds and Instagram's videos were Vine videos were 7 seconds and Instagram gave you 15. That was a big deal. That was a really big deal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were in kindergarten.
2013? I think my business was fresh.
Yeah.
Like we were brand new, I think.
What were you doing in 2013, Mike?
If it was the winter, that would have been my last season snow plowing.
And only season.
Yeah, and only. That's another way to put it, I guess.
Oh, you're the one that claims it was the only one. Back in those days, we did a lot of good stuff. We used to do a weekly dance video every week. We did
I couldn't get my guys to do a weekly dance video.
Every week we did, or every Halloween we did a Halloween spectacular. One time we did a Magic Mike video.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, Bill, who actually works for us now, was a stripper. So he was in part of the video, he's in a client's backyard stripping. And the clients are sitting in the house eating dinner or something, and he's stripping. The clients are in the video.
That's good.
So that's what we were doing in 2013. So there you go.
That's our first segment of PK. Tell us about the time that
what the fuck was actually going on here?
Yeah.
What were you actually, and how do you think that it was going to help you sell work? I was doing a pizza review today, and I was like, this is not helping me sell work. Like, I don't see how this is helping me sell any jobs, but it is. And the pizza, I was hoping, like, they didn't have cheese pizza. The guy only had pepperoni. He got a 7.5 for it. He had good pizza, but if you don't offer cheese pizza, you're not a traditionalist. You're not in, like, I drove out of my way to check the place out.
You could have just taken the pepperonis off.
I want to eat the pizza the way it was prepared and intended. I don't sacrifice my integrity here, man. My reviews have integrity. And I'm telling you that I will not. I review it the way it's served to me. If I take it off, he could claim the review is faked.
True, I suppose.
He got a 7.5.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
In my world, it isn't. I usually give people 8 or 9.
You're
I
generous.
think Circle K got 8. Right. But in Circle K's defense, they have smokes and energy drinks.
Oh, okay. That
Did
plays
you guys see my story about consistency?
Yeah.
And
No,
it's consistency that helps you breed profit. It was
no.
the last day of the season, and I was going to pick up a bin, and I was chugging a Red Bull, eating a pepperoni stick, and it occurred to me that's consistency, man.
Mm.
I started the season drinking Red Bulls, eating pepperoni sticks. I finished the season, and that's the kind of thing if you want to grow a business, you must remain consistent.
I like that you'll give a pizza shop a higher score if they have smokes, energy drinks, and pepperoni sticks, but you'll dock points if they put pepperoni on their pizza.
Yes, that's true. Well, this is what happens when you're in charge of your own account. They should
Yeah, I
never have
guess so.
given everyone the freedom. They're slowly taking it away because
Yeah.
Trudeau also doesn't think it's appropriate. So he's slowly taking it away. What were the questions, Mike?